Hi everyone. I know it's early. It's like 5:16 in the morning. I keep feeling shit all night. No. Excuse me. But I have to talk about this. We have to talk about this as an American, as full-fledged America. We need to sit down and talk about this. And the one thing called mental health and what we're doing to each other and our kids. It it's ridiculous. I agree with Simmons Shogun with what we're doing to our kids. We're forcing our beliefs onto innocent minds, making them believe that I have to be this way, or mommy and daddy won't love me, or it's okay at 5 years old to be forced to do things that I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, with what he said about Ezra Miller, about his childhood, about these little kids being forced to see full grown men dressed scantily clad as drag queens scars you as a child. You think that's normal. While these people have, they're maybe nice people and everything. I know I have mental disabilities in my family. I have cousins, I have, you name it. We're casebook mental cases, okay? But we're nicest people on the planet. But how far does we allow that niceness and the mixture of the mental disabilities of and the mental health that's degrading in these people and be allowed to say, hey, you've gone too far. You're now doing this shit to little kids. Little kids should be able to grow with them in themselves, be able to discover who they are, not being forced of who ever the society wants them to be. And the result of this is people like Ezra Miller and people who follow Ezra Miller. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but there's two genders. I'm sorry. There are two genders. You're only born with two genders, a male and a female. Then there's transgenders, which are born with both. That I'm a little iffy about on what's what. That's like a really touchy feely, subject because they are both genders. So I'm thinking maybe there's three genders at the most because something going wrong with the DNA that the parent, both the male and the female, putting that together. But there is no pansexuals. It's all sexuality. It's not gender. It's sexuality. People are getting confused with what sexuality is and what gender is. Gender is what you're born with. Sexuality is who you want to screw. Okay? You are not born pansexual. You are born male, female, or transgender. I'm sorry. I'm. It's just getting so bad. I mean, a lot of people. I bet you more than half of these people who felt Ezra Miller and people like that, if they want to get mental health, will go and say, "Hey, there was something wrong with me, with my mental health, and I got it, and I'm not this, I'm not that, and I just screwed my." I have such more mental problems now because I let myself get that way. You know? I mean, I've seen that one picture he posted with the woman, Ezra Miller with the woman. I He looked like a serial killer with those eyes. There was nothing there in his eyes. They were soulless eyes. I mean, and then with the orange truck in the background, it looked to me like he was taking a picture of this woman right before he was going to kidnap her and throw her in the fucking van. I mean, that's what it looked like to me. It looked like when I forget who used to take pictures of his victims before he killed them. I mean, don't people understand certain things like that? I mean, certain people like that shouldn't be getting help, not celebrated for it. It's ending up like we're. I mean, I remember. I so believe how history likes to repeat itself. And Ezra Miller is the new Charles Manson, new Night Stalker, but 10 times worse because we're allowing it. We're allowing him around children. We're allowing someone like the Night Stalker, Charles Manson, and stuff be around children because children are impressionable. They're they're at and especially at the ages he grabs these kids at. He's a predator. I'm telling you, people, he's a predator. And I'm sorry, those of you who consider yourselves to be vampires and werewolves, do you know what exactly is a werewolf and a vampire? Vampire is a label, not a gender, not anything else. Okay? Vampires is what people believed back in the medieval times when a person was dead, not breathing, but rose from the dead to suck someone else's blood. Okay, it was popularized during the medieval Renaissance era. It was around the time of the witch burnings, witch hangings, Salem witch trials, and all that. Do your research, people. Werewolves do not exist. They are a why they call them folklore? Because it's lore that people made up to scare people. If you go near a dog, if you go near, I mean, we don't, it's all like creepypastas. It's what we call creepypastas in today's world. Back then, they were stories like Mary Shelley. They were fiction. They were to scare people. People like getting scared, reading stories, and getting scared. Watching movies, getting scared. It's a normal reaction with us. But when you jump the line over from fiction to reality and believing that fiction is reality, yeah, there's a problem there. There is a problem there. And there's a problem with people who follow Ezra and saying that this is okay for how Ezra is acting. And hiding behind. And he knows what he's doing. He's not stupid. These serial killers and and predators are never stupid. But they do end up tripping over themselves sooner or later. Okay? Watch any crime show. Watch. I'm telling you, these true life crime shows, like Forensic Files and fuck, what the fuck? No. And like Forensic Files, cold cases. unsolved mysteries. These people, most than half, have had screwed up childhoods, mentally scarred them for life, didn't get the mental help they need, so they went and killed people who they feel have a better life than them because they're jealous of the fact that they didn't have that, but they did. So they got pissed off at that. Okay? When in themselves knew that if they gotten the help, their lives would be better. They would have gotten a medicine or something, or gotten someone to talk to about their problems. Even their mental disabilities or mental capabilities or whatever, the emotional and abuse that they went through wouldn't be as bad because they would know that everyone suffers some type of abuse one time or another in their life. We're all the same. We all have mental problems, emotional problems. But why do we do it to each other? We need to stop doing picking apart each and everybody. We need to start helping. And we're not helping kids, we're not helping each other. By the way we're going, we need to stop. What the fuck? Excuse my language. Like I have something poking me in the leg. God damn. I mean, I went through a lot of emotional essayed. I was essayed and everything. I went through everything. And I got the mental help I need. I got people I can talk to. Because if I hadn't had that close knit circle, I either be 6 feet on the ground because I would have committed suicide, or I turn out like a psycho killer and or serial killer after all I've been through. But no, this is what happens when you get help. You end up like me. You, you don't end up like a psycho killer. You don't commit suicide. And yes, I do have my days. Yes, these people do have their days where they're depressed, they're this, they're that. Why did this have to happen to me? But why am I in this position? Why am I the way I am? But we shouldn't have let Ezra Miller get like this. Why didn't the adults stop his sister from using him as an experiment for cross dressing as a little kid? Because if, like Simi Shogun said, if the sister hadn't done that, he wouldn't be the way he is. He was manipulated by his sister. It wasn't all fun and games. Didn't the sister have any other friends to hang out with? Did the Ezra have other male friends to play with as a kid? This would, and that then comes down to what kind of parents were the Ezra and his sister's parents? How, why did they let them do that? Why didn't they say, Ezra, go play with your little guy friends? Who's you are? Play with your female friends. Go find female friends. That would have more association with being a female. No. But the adults, like she said in the thing, the comments of the male, of the adults around them, thought it was cute, thought it was odd, but they didn't stop them. If they would have stopped the manipulation between the brother and sister that they had, we wouldn't be talking about Ezra being like this. I mean, no one took these kids out of that position and told the sister, what you're doing is not right. You're screwing with your brother. Mental health. You know? I mean, there's certain things that a brother and sister should not do together. And that's playing dress up together and him, it seems like she forced him to do this. And he was afraid of her maybe. Because him being the younger brother. You know, older siblings too tend to bully the younger sibling in most cases. And I think that was the dynamic, and she didn't know what was. She didn't know she had mental, emotional problems and stuff. Maybe before Ezra was born, something happened to her, and she was taking it out on her brother. She didn't like the fact that that she didn't have a brother. That means she didn't have another sister. So I mean, a lot of them, you gotta really put yourself in people's shoes, but we're normalizing what we're doing to kids, and this is what happens when we force sexuality on such a young, impressionable age. We get people like this Night Stalker, Charles Manson, Ezra Miller. I mean, we need to stop and think of how we're raising our kids. Because there wasn't this problem or anything back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s when guys were allowed to be guys and girls were allowed to be girls by playing with Barbies, guys playing with trucks. You know what I'm saying? Guys playing in dirt. Well, girls cook and clean and being females with makeup and dresses. And, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what separated the guys from the girls. I mean, now we're allowing guys to play with girls, allowing guys to go to the bathroom in the girls' bathroom, allowing guys to play women's stuff. When's it gonna end? When's it gonna end? How do you know there ain't psychopaths and shit just saying that they're identifying as women and stuff just to get in with the women so they can essay them? Did you ever think of that? I mean, seriously. There's a lot of screwed up. I mean, seriously. I don't care if you like it or not. But this is the way things are going, and you cannot ignore it anymore. We need a good mental health backing here in America to stop this. Stop these parents from screwing up our children. This is why I believe that every parent should have a license to become a parent. Like it's like licensing a car, like licensing. I mean, to sell beer. It's just something because most parents are screwing up our children, and I'm telling you, in the next 200 years or so, I'm afraid for humanity because there'll be males sleeping with males and females only sleeping with females, and there'll be no kids popping out of these relationships. And once that generation dies, humanity is gone. They wouldn't believe in unless the kids are are generated in a test tube because males cannot have kids. Female Females cannot have kids with another female. You have to have a male sperm to have a kid, a male sperm and a uterus to have kids. And being pansexual and doing all this is not helping the human race. You're only screwing up the human race. You're killing the human race. And the epidemic that we're having is because parents were too lenient on the kids. They allowed the kids to to pl- to play with things that they're not supposed to do. I mean, why do you think there's male Barbie dolls? There's action figures for guys. There's Barbie dolls for girls. Because we're made different. Females are made different from males. It's just luckily enough, there are still human beings out there, male and female, who want to get together and have kids. We need people to keep that going, or human race is gone. I'm telling you, there's gonna be. I mean, I allow my daughter to be such a tomboy, but she knows that I'll always love her no matter what. But she knows she's a female, and she knows that she won't be able to generate a child without the guy. You know what I'm saying? And she wants to have kids. She, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just please get the mental help. Mental health is raging in America right now. We need a good mental health.